I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our demonstration site now. And please, if at any point there's any questions, feel free to stop me. I'm going to start off by a return customer. As you can see, right now I'm not logged in. You'll see that there's a couple of catalogs. There's an electronics catalog. There's an educational products catalog right now as a guest shopper. But when I log in as a return user, in this case, Terry Nash, that represents a company called Capital Systems. I will put in my credentials as a return customer, and I purchase here from, Smarter Tech. And I'm going to go ahead and log in. And the first thing it does is it throws me as a return B2B customer. It returns me to the dashboard. The dashboard is a collection of capabilities so that the customer can be informed of what's going on. First, they can see their persistent shopping cart. Last time I was at the site, I threw some items into my shopping cart. You can also see here that quickly I got a third catalog here. Our catalog solution can be specific assigned catalogs. So if you have customers that have white label products with you or purchase certain things from you, and only that group of customers are allowed to see those type of products, then we have a solution. We can assign and create as many catalogs as you need as part of the solution, and then be able to display those products specifically to that customer. So here are some other capabilities. We've talked about a persistent shopping cart. We have a capability of doing what are called announcements or notifications to a user that can prompt the user to notify them of certain things. Maybe you have certain products that are going on sale, or you've introduced a new product line as here, so that the customer right from the notification can drill directly to that grouping of products and see what new products have been introduced or what products are on sale based on the classifications that you've created within the solution. From the dashboard, a user also can see a complete view of historical information, such as invoice history. This invoice history aren't just for orders coming through the website. This is a complete view based on configuration of what invoices you want to allow your customer base to see via the website. This could be orders that came in through EDI, orders that came in through manually over the phone. So the customer here can see a complete view. They can search for a particular invoice if needed, filter down to that specific invoice, drill into the details of that invoice so that they can evaluate and see exactly when that invoice was issued, the invoice number, and so on. If they need to pull down a document, we even have integration with your PDFs, as long as they're archived, the actual physical invoices or other documents. We can relate and pull those documents so that the user can easily and quickly open those documents and print them themselves right from the website. As you can see, also from anywhere, I can see further information, view details, and other capabilities. I can also repeat from anywhere. If I need to repurchase a specific product that I'm looking for, I can just write from any historical invoice or order. I can go ahead and add it back to my shopping cart and see my complete floating shopping cart here of the products that I have. Other capabilities that a user has is a complete shopping history or order history, where customer can drill in and see all of their orders, which ones are complete, which ones are still open. They can filter through the various pages of orders. If there's an order on hold, we can let them know that it's on hold so that they can call in and work with you to figure out why is it on hold. So here a user can easily drill through, and when they find the order that they're looking for, and they have filtering capabilities here, if they know their PO number or a specific date range, but when they find the order that they're looking for, they can just drill into that order and see the details of that order that they purchased, how it was paid for, against terms or on account, where it was shipped, and how it was shipped. So all of that information available to you as a user. But there's many other capabilities. We saw information around invoice history and shopping history, but we can also provide information on payment history that the customer has made, how they paid for different orders over a period of time, and even drill in to a specific check that maybe they mailed in and they wanted to see the details behind that to make sure that it was applied appropriately to all of the invoices for that check. So as you can see, a robust amount of capabilities the user has. They can maintain all of their addresses and billing addresses, shipping addresses right from the website if you allow them to do so. They can place quotes through our solution, manage those quotes, convert those quotes from a quote to an order. Once it's ready, they can convert that, or if it's pending for review. They can, as I mentioned, they can even pay for open invoices right through here. If a customer has open invoices right through here, they can select those invoices that they want to pay and continue through a payment process and either pay those invoices with a credit card or pay with an ACH transfer, but allowing your user to have full flexibility to be able to manage their relationship with you, see historical information, and obviously place orders, which is the main event that you want for your users through the website. So they have a fully functioning shopping cart. They can save their cart if they need to. They can convert their cart into a quote. They can share their cart with others in their organization. We have a full terms and conditions module, which you can set up terms and conditions to be able to be accepted. And once they're ready, they can go through the process of checking out and placing that order directly into JD Edwards. They can review their order, make sure everything looks good. They can change shipping addresses. Here you may notice behind the scenes here, let me back up a step. There's an order total here of products, freight, tax. It seems that to the location where it's being shipped, there's no sales tax, discounts. But if I change locations here, maybe from Texas to Florida to a different warehouse, and these are all my warehouses that are associated to my account, notice now my freight changed and my tax changed because it seems that there is tax that applies in Florida, but not in Texas. So that's the level of integration that we have, real-time information, accurate information to the end user so that they feel comfortable with what they're purchasing. They're seeing all the information on a real-time basis, seeing availability, seeing their pricing. If they want to change shipping method, maybe they need it overnight, they can see the different options that they have to ship the product. And then once they're ready, they can go through. If this is a PO required customer, they would need to enter in their PO and then continue to the last step, which is how do you want to pay for this order? Do you want to pay against terms, on account? Do you want to pay with a credit card? Do you want to use a PayPal corporate account, or do you want to use a PayPal credit account? So multiple methods of payment. Let's assume here they're paying on account against terms because this customer has terms with us. They can go through and place that order. And immediately that order goes into your JD Edwards. It doesn't go into a secondary system and then gets replicated. No, it goes directly into JD Edwards. Here is the order number. If I jump over to my JD Edwards environment and log in to the back end, obviously this being Smarter Tech now, your company, immediately that order number 7866 goes into Edwards and it's ready to be picked, packed, and shipped. So because of our integration, how tightly we're integrated, all of the information is real time from both a pricing, inventory capabilities, real-time ordering capabilities, real-time order history and shopping history and invoice history capabilities to your users, so that there's a confidence level and an accuracy level there at all times with the customer. And we have a full communications vehicle where we provide email communications that are obviously going to be branded to your organization, and you can put whatever verbiage you would like around the email. So there's a constant communication with the customer, providing them good feedback so that they know and have confidence in the system throughout the solution. Okay, those are some of the capabilities. As you can see, a couple of additional features that we wanted to highlight. If you have warehouses and customers do pickup orders, we have also a find your warehouse or find your store location, where they can set a specific store location and be able to purchase product for pickup right from that specific warehouse or store location. We also have quick order capabilities for your customers. If they know that the part numbers, they can just type them in, or if they want to work their order outside of the website, maybe in an Excel spreadsheet, and just import that order, they can do that directly and process the order right in, so they don't have to go through and search and find the product, as we saw with other websites. If they are your routine customer that knows exactly what they want, they can just import that order in. And they have other capabilities around setting up of what are called product lists. These are shopping lists that they can create themselves. These are their product lists of products that they routinely purchase, and they can set up different lists depending on their needs. And that way, again, it's easy for them to quickly and easily find what they want, select, and then mass add all of those parts, because they routinely purchase those parts and quantities for their store or for their location. So what we try to do here is give many avenues and many different capabilities to the end user to be able to quickly and easily get in, purchase what they need, find what they need, and get out, especially for those return shoppers, or if they're a first-time shopper, give them robust capabilities around searching of products so that they can easily and quickly find those products, or even have integration with design views or schematics so that they can make sure that what they need is exactly that product. All right, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing unless there's any specific questions regarding the functionality of the solution. If there aren't, then I'm going to go ahead and transition the presentation to Kieran, who's going to talk a little bit about the back end and how you bring together content with commerce, how you unify and be able to present and have different views of the same information, but be able to present yourself how you desire to the outside world, but giving all of those functionality capabilities to your customer base.
Perfect. Thank you, Diego. I just want to make sure everyone's seeing the SmarterTech screen, still on the same website Diego was presenting. So what I'm going to do in this part of the demonstration is really take you through how this website is built using the Sitefinity CMS solution. So right now we're on the home page right here. We can see all the different elements that Diego went through. And as he went through the demonstration, you can see the different parts of the content being brought into play, as well as the different parts of the commerce functionality. So here I am. I'm just gone to the Sitefinity CMS solution. I've logged in as an administrator. As soon as I've logged into the system, I land on the dashboard and I have access to all of the overview information for the account that I'm using. I can see my content. I can see everyone else's content. I can see what's been happening with my website. Now, one of the important pieces of functionality that Sitefinity makes available is what we call multi-site management. So whether you're managing, one site like we're doing with SmarterTech right there, or multiple sites, they can all be administered and maintained from within the same solution. You can have multiple sites within here. You can manage them all from here in one place. And the beauty about that is you can actually start to share content and other elements among the sites, so that you don't have that you don't have you make the most of the data that you have available. You can share things amongst the different websites. You don't have to replicate any of that data. Okay, so as I move along now along the top menu, I'm going to step into the actual pages that make up the site. So from within here, all of the pages that you saw during Diego's presentation are all listed here. This is the design section for them. You create the page and then you start to set up the functionality to enable that for the website. Now, as I move across the top, I'm just going to step down into the different types of content that's used within Sitefinity. I have my standard content types such as news, blogs, events, images. You can store, all of your images within the Sitefinity solution itself, or you can actually bring in your images via API from different locations. In this case, right now we have multiple areas set up, and we have all of the images within here that we're using amongst the site. This is how we bring together that rich content, whether it's images, videos, different forms that you create, and combine that with the commerce functionality that you saw during the presentation. Now, I'm just going to go back to the pages very quickly. Just refer back to the site right here. You can see as I'm hovering over, I have different elements on the home page. Now, if I go to the pages section and I click on the home page directly, I step into what we call the design view of the page. So here I can see the backend place where I actually set up this page. Now, if I'm a marketing user or a business user, this is really easy for me to use. I can load any of the content, create any of the content that I want to use. And basically, while I'm working on the design of the page, as you can see right here, we have many content blocks or different elements that have been dragged and dropped onto the page that have enabled this homepage to be created. I can do the same. I can go ahead and grab a widget, which is a content block, and I can start to create content for this. Now, as I said, you can share content among the site. So in this case right now, I can go ahead and click on the use of shared content. I'm just going to search for a Dell Pro support piece of content that was used throughout the site. I'm going to use that for my homepage. As you can see, I now have some verbiage. I have some information about the Dell Pro support, and I've got a banner coming across. It's now changed the look and feel of my homepage. I'm just going to quickly click on edit for that. This takes me into my actual content block. As you can see, very easy to use text editor. I can set up hyperlinks within here. If I click on any of the elements, I can change this very easily. If I needed to edit that or change it, I could do it from here. I can actually start to link to any types of content within my site from within here just by clicking through it and selecting the different types that I want. So it's not only limited to anything like pages. I can get through any of the content types that I have available and start to use it within my content builder. Now, as you can see, I've got the image coming through from my image library. And again, if you have a look at the top right here, I have all of my different sections that I can use to start to build my content. But if this makes it really easy for a standard business user or a marketing user to create content, publish that, and get that up and running on the website for my customers. But if I wanted to be a web designer and work directly into HTML, from within the same tool, I can do that from within here also. Okay, so that's very quickly, in a nutshell, how you can create content very easily. Now, as we say, we combine content and commerce. How do we do that? So this is the same design view of the page. If I scroll through the right-hand section right here, if you just notice within my content section, I have all of the different types of content available. And these are the widgets I use to basically set them up and display them on the site for my customers. And if I scroll to the bottom right here, and if I go to SmarterCommerce CMS, during Diego's presentation, we saw him going through the dashboard page. We saw him going through the catalog. We saw him going through item content and checking out. All of the widgets that enable that functionality are right here. And to set them up, it's as easy as dragging and dropping them onto the page, clicking on edit, and then basically clicking through and selecting the options that make sense for me and that I want to use to set up the site for my customers. So I have various options within here where I can set up exactly how I want the catalog to look. So before I do that, I'm just going to go back to the site, and I'm going to hover over the actual catalog navigation right here. Here you can see all of my different categories. You can see some content available to basically market different types of products to my customers. If I click into the catalog itself, I start to get into the actual categories. This is where I can start to see, more marketing information. I can see the various categories, the listing of products, the various attributes to filter my catalog. And then I get right into the nuts and bolts, all of my product content displayed within the listing. And in here, this is the catalog widget. This is what's presenting all of that information to the user. So I can set that up very easily. I can go ahead and click through this. Once I click save, I now have a working catalog on my page that's presenting the products to my users, to my customer base. I'm going to quickly back out of here. So we've talked a bit about the page design. Now, what's very important about the solution is how we bring together content and commerce. We've got all of the content addressed in Sitefinity, but when you're working with JD Edwards and you're working with multiple products, you always have the challenge of bringing that product information into your system, extending that information and enriching it and making it available to your customers. So the first part we looked at was really breaking down those catalog categories. I'm just going to show you very quickly how we set that up in the system so you have both views of it. You can see the front end view that the customer sees, but now you want to see exactly how you set that up, how you work with it, and how you deliver that to your customers. We were working within that electronics catalog. So if I quickly click into that, and just a note, as you can see, everything's multi-language, so I can have as many languages, as many translations as I want. Right now, we just have English and Spanish, but I have all of my categories up here. In one click of the button, I can see the entire structure of my catalog. I can drag and drop this around just to change that if I need to. I can very quickly create more categories, and very easily from within these sections, I can get to relating products to them, or I can edit content for them. So I went into the 4K Ultra HD TVs right here. This is where I can see my product listing. This is the back end view of it. And from within here, if I just click on edit content, I can now start to see how I build this up. I give it a title, I give it a URL, I can set the sequence for it. If I have any related images that I wish to associate to this or any sales badges, I can just add them to them right here very easily. And very importantly, when you're working with something like a product catalog, you have the obvious listing right here where you have all of your products that you're showing to your customers. But what we've done in the system is we've extended that functionality and enabled you to now begin to market information around the catalog with standard content. And that's right here in the system. As you can see, I can set up the content within here. If I click on edit, I can change the content. And more importantly, if I want to just create independent pieces of content, I can very quickly change that button, click within here, and I get that same consistent editor that I have available, which gives me access to any types of content that I wish to set up. And again, if I really wanted to work as a web designer, work directly with the HTML in there, so I can get right into the details and set that up exactly how I want to. So I'm just going to back out of that catalog category, go back to my SmarterCommerce menu, and now just from the front end, I'm just going to go through, click on a product, just so we get to the details of this, so we can bring this all together and show you exactly how you now enrich your product content and bring together all of that product content with the real-time availability checking and pricing and all that information coming through from JD Edwards. So back to Sitefinity, I'm going to quickly click on the product section. And once I'm within here, I can see the full listing of my products that I have available that I can associate to my catalogs and start to sell on the site. But from within here, I can very quickly go to my details for my product, and I can start to enrich this. I can start to extend any of that JD Edwards information. I can have my title for my product. I can change that product number if I wanted to. I also have my product name, which you'd see on the front end in this section right here. Now, if I'm working in Sitefinity and I want to know exactly what I'm working with, I can quickly click on this tool right here. It tells me exactly what I'm working with and where it is on my page. Now, again, I can work with my URL. I have various product descriptions within here. And if I click into this, again, you see that same editor come up. So from within here, I can embed images, videos, I can hyperlink to any other pieces of content within the site to link it, to bring it all together, to really enrich that and to give my users access, to all of the content to make that buying experience for them as educational and as easy as possible. So we have different sections for different descriptions, for features. And again, how do you maintain all of those images and videos and sales badges? You do it all from within the same place. It's as easy as that. You basically add images within here. It's all drag and drop functionality. I can change the order of the images. And the same functionality applies to any of the details that you see within the product. If I go back to the page, we get into the actual, detailed information for the products, I can see all of my specifications. I can see product details. I can even see marketing material that I have set up. As a marketing user, how do I work with this? Well, very easily, I can create my piece of content and start to link it to my products. If I need to change the order of this, it's very easy. It's all drag and drop, and it's all added within here. And the same goes for all of your product attributes. It's all listed against the item, so you can use that to actually search and filter against the items to make it easy for your customer to find exactly what they're looking at based on the specifications for your products. Again, you have full access to SiteFindy's document library, where you can upload many documents for your items and then link it directly to the item and have that available to inform your users. Now, in addition to that, we have extended functionality for controlling your sales prices. You can decide to show products as information only. You can remove the add to cart. You can restrict it completely. You have full control within here. And in addition to all of that, you have full control over the unit of measures that you sell it in at the item level. Again, if you're selling site-wide and you wish to set up these rules at the site level, you can do that also. Now, again, if you have, quantity controls that you need to apply at the product level. For this product, as an example, we have a maximum order quantity allowed for this product, which is 5. I've set that up within the system. I have a default quantity and I've set up the maximum just to show you that functionality. And now again, as Diego showed you when using the search tool, and also for the basic search engine optimization across Google and all the other search engines, you have all of that metadata here that you can control in terms of your titles, your descriptions, and all of the keywords used by the search engines and sitemaps. And again, for all of that open graph information used by the social media engines, you can control all of the titles, the descriptions, all of that extended info from within here, including the images and the videos for your products. Okay, so very quickly, just to keep going, I just wanted to talk about another few pieces of functionality within the system. If I step into the marketing module for Sitefinity, one of the important pieces that we have right here is personalization. So if everyone understands the web businesses nowadays, customers have come to expect a personalized experience on websites. How you do this within the system is you can create various segments for your customers. You can group them together based on certain criteria, whether it's geolocation, whether it's their state, whether it's the time of day that they shop, whether it's on scoring criteria that you record based on how they move through the site. You can collect all of that information and start to build customer segments. And another important feature that we have is within the system, we've also extended information from the customer master within JD Edwards. So you can also build customer segments based on all of those category codes, all of the extended information that you have in JD Edwards in the customer master. You can now use that to build customer segments and actually start to personalize your site based on that criteria. So what that looks like is effectively you can create a segment for a customer. In this case, I've used customers that fall into a certain pricing group. So these are my retail customers. Based on that segment, I can go back to a page and I can actually start to personalize my content based on that. So whether it's JD Edwards or whether it's another segment that you've created, in this case right here, I'm just going to go down to a landing page that I've created, step into the detail for that page just to look at the design. And in this case, it's a basic landing page that I've created that has some content. It has some content telling me about a TV that I'm going to sell. Here's some information about the actual processor for the television. And I've got my product content coming through from within here. I'm very quickly just going to preview this page to see what it looks like for my web customer. If they log in to the site, they're going to see the information coming through. They're going to see the banner for the processor. They're going to see the actual TV and the call to action at the bottom. Now, if I decide to view this as one of those customer segments, in this case, that customer that falls into my retail customer group, if I click on that very quickly, my content has now completely changed and has been personalized for that specific segment. I've built that using the criteria from JD Edwards, and now I'm using that to actually personalize my content to give my customers, the unique information that they need based on their unique shopping experience. They still have the same television available. They have the add to cart and the call to action, but they have different information provided based on their needs.